Hi everybody, Tommy the Mischief Maker here. Today I've been sent to my room because I've got into some mischief again. Why am I being sent to my room? Let me tell you why. Remember last time when I told you how Paws and Claws just got a Cobra in? My parents decided to check it out. Amazingly enough, they let me adopt a Cobra. So we take him home, and right away I call him King Cobra. Well, I don't like keeping my pets in a cage, so I let King Cobra run loose here on the bedroom floor. Only earlier today, my mom was having a PTA meeting at the house. That meant that I had to put King Cobra in his cage. After I did that, I went downstairs to meet the PTA group because Mom is taking a shower. Suddenly, I hear Mom scream at the top of her lungs, and she comes running by the PTA group in nothing but a towel and dives into the closet. Principal Scott speaks up and says, "That's something you don't see at every PTA meeting," and I said, "Hold that thought. Let me see what's up with Mom." I go over to the closet, and my mom says, "Who let King Cobra loose?" And I said, "He's loose? Where?" And my mom said, "He came into the tub while I was taking a shower." And I said, "Really? You know, King Cobra might have just been lonesome." And my mom said, "I don't care. Just get King Cobra back in his cage." So then I helped my mom out of the closet. That's when she sees that the PTA group has arrived. She turns to me and says, "Did I just run by the PTA group in nothing but a towel?" I turn to her and says, "Hey, it could have been worse. You could have been naked." That's when Principal Scott speaks up and says, "You know, at most PTA meetings, we just talk about junk that happens at school. I think this is one of the more exciting PTA meetings that I've been to." My mom turns to me and says, "No, nothing could be worse." Suddenly, pandemonium strikes again. Everybody freaks out when they see King Cobra coming down the stairs. My mom says, "King Cobra's still loose. Get him!" That's when Mrs. Jennings speaks up and says, "Snakes! I don't like snakes, and that's just ordinary snakes. And this one's a cobra." Suddenly Mrs. Jennings faints like this. Ugh. Then King Cobra quickly goes underneath Mrs. Peterson's, and she happened to be wearing a dress at the time, and Mrs. Peterson freaks out, so she jumps into Principal Scott's arms. Finally, King Cobra had Mrs. Scott cornered up against the closet. Mrs. Scott had some cooked thinking, and she opened up the closet and ran in. King Cobra followed after her. I quickly closed the closet doors, and then I turned to everybody and said, "I caught King Cobra." And my mom said, "You know, Mrs. Scott is still in the closet with King Cobra." And I said, "She is? Oh, maybe I better let her out." I open up the door, and she comes out, and I quickly close it on King Cobra, and she goes, "Snakes, snakes, snakes. This doesn't ever happen at our house." And then finally, after things settled down, Mrs. Jennings came through. Mom got dressed. The PTA meeting went on as planned. Afterwards, on the way out, I heard Mrs. Scott say to Principal Scott, "I don't know where, but we are not having the next PTA meeting here." And Principal Scott says, "Why? I had a good time." And Mrs. Scott says, "You would." Principal Scott turns to my mom and says, "We'll talk about this." And my mom says, "I'm sure you will." After everybody leaves, my mom takes me back to Paws and Claws because she makes me take King Cobra back and promise not to get any more pets. On the on the way home, I hear my mom say, "Out of all the kids in the world, why did mine have to be the next Dennis the Menace?" And that's why I'm being sent to my room today. Over and out, everybody.